Yo, 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 yo. What's good, peeps? It's me, Jason Gooner. You know what channel it is, Jason Gooner TV. And it's another match week in the books. So you know we're back for the match week review. We're gonna go through all 10 games, discuss the talking points from the games. We had some big matches, some big upsets. Liverpool keep winning. We're going to discuss it all, people. And you know, I asked a question in the preview show: is the cannon fixed? You know, a lot of people thought, well, I thought Odegaard back in the team. It was a different look against Chelsea. Yes, we didn't get the 3 points, but I thought the performance was a lot better than some games where we even got 3 points. And I think that continued. I saw the difference that Odegaard make. But we're going to slow down, people. That's not the first thing we're going to talk about. First thing we have to talk about, people, this is YouTube. This program is on YouTube. So when you're watching a program on YouTube, if you rate the person that you're watching, you respect the person that you're watching, the way you show the respect, hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. You can also share it around if you're in any football groups that talk football, discuss the football. Yes, this needs to be a part of that discussion. You know why? Because we just keep it going, people. The banter, the discussion, you know, a lot of teams got handled this week. So you want to be a part of it while we break it all down so we can make fun of people. That is one of the best parts about football, right? You can tell when you're bridging them that them team get mashed up. It's a great feeling, you know, it's a great feeling, especially when your team never get mashed up that week. Yes. So we know who. So the first thing we're going to do, people, we just want to hear three. If your side get 3 points this week, make way say three. Yes, I can say three loud and proud this week. Feeling good about that. But we know we have the prediction standings for the week. We have a champion that we need to crown. So we're going to see who had the best picks for this week. There were some matchups that I must say, if you predicted them correctly, then boy, I don't know. I'd like to borrow your crystal ball so we can get the lottery numbers and Powerball and all them something there. Yes. But we're gonna go do that. And of course, we have Donkey of the Week for the worst picks of the week. Yes, sadly, people have to be the Donkey of the Week as well. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's few, sometimes it's more. So we're going to see how many people earn the dubious title of being Donkey of the Week for the picks. And of course, we're going to break down the games. And at the end of the show, we will check in with Jason Gooner's FPL teams. You know, we have one fantasy team and we have two FPL draft team. So we're gonna see how we team them do this week. All right, people. So that's how the show gonna run. Yeah, man. Make sure and I like the video. Smash that share button as well. And just let's get right into the discussion, people. If you're watching this on the replay as well, people, like the video, drop your comments in the comment section. Anything where you want to talk about, anything that you think I should have brought up about the games, yeah, man, drop them in the comment section so we can continue the conversation. But just want to say big up to all the people that have been supporting the channel. I really, really, really do appreciate all of the support. And just to give you an update on what's going on the channel soon, we will have what am I doing? We will have the finals of the Caribbean Cup tomorrow. I'm gonna live stream that, so I'll probably make the thumbnail so you guys can see it from early out and know so we're gonna live for carry that game, Cavalier versus Cibao tomorrow night. So look out for that, people. But you don't know what we're here for tonight, people. We are here for the Premier League breakdown. So let's take a look at the first matchup. The first matchup was Chelsea and Leicester. Chelsea took a trip to Leicester to the King Power. So let's take a look at that really quickly. All right. So Leicester versus Chelsea, people. So this was this matchup, people. 2-1. This one ended 10 truly. Chelsea, I think, should have won this game by a lot more. As you can see on the side of the screen there, quite an easy matchup on the day when you look at the attack momentum. Basically, the blue is Chelsea. Right here, the green is Leicester. So very rarely did Leicester have any kind of attacking thrust in the game. What is going on with this screen? Yeah, but this one, people, I thought that Chelsea, just more Maresca ball. They really had control of the midfield in this one for the most part. I think maybe the first 30 minutes, it was just all Chelsea. Leicester showed some glimpses towards the end of the first half, but yeah, it never really looked good for them on the day in terms of just being in the game. Enzo got the man of the match in terms of the statistics. AU did get a consolation goal late after a foul in the box. And he came off the bench and got a penalty. So Chelsea got the 3 points, 2-1. The statistics look like this. Expected goals. I thought Chelsea could have easily had 3-4 goals in this one. Remember one in particular in the first half, Cole Palmer put away a chance, but Madueke couldn't get out the way. As you can see, 4 big chances for Chelsea to the 1 for Leicester, 16 shots to 4, 4 saves, a lot more passes for Chelsea as you would expect. They had more of the football. Shots on target, only 1 for Leicester on the day, 7 for Chelsea. Lots of shots in the box. One thing about Chelsea as well, when you look at how they play, a lot of their attack filtered down the left-hand side in this game. But as you can see, they really like that half space in the midfield to progress the ball as well. So a lot of the play goes through the pivots, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and then you'll find Palmer picking up the next pocket in that central third of the pitch. So, I think they possess a good balance in it when it comes to attack. They like to find the half space and then spring the wingers from there. Or just drive forward through the middle as well, utilizing Jackson's pace, and Jackson as well, providing an extra safety valve, so to speak, when he drops deeper into the midfield. So, Chelsea definitely a team that when you play them, you have to figure out a way to not get outnumbered inside that middle of the park, because, one of the fullbacks usually invert, and then you have Jackson dropping into space, you have Cole Palmer dropping into space. The wingers do a pretty decent job of keeping the width for the most part, especially when, Felix kind of didn't keep the width as much as, say, a Neto would. But I think why it works is, Palmer is more than comfortable drifting. So is Jackson. So, I think the attackers do a good job of, just filling the space that the other attackers have left. So there's always a decent balance in Chelsea's attack. For me, as I said many times about Chelsea, I just feel like the defense is going to let them down in the long run. They're going to have to outscore teams, especially the better teams, if they want to get 3 points. And I think because of that, they might get too many draws to, get to where they would like to be at the end of this season. But we shall see. They definitely have the firepower. They play very good football. And I think Nico Jackson, we have to talk about Nico Jackson, people. I remember last year, people were, kind of had a lot to say negative about Nico Jackson, more so because of the missed chances. And, there was kind of an argument going around, would you rather have a striker missing chances but getting them? Obviously, you'd rather have a striker just finishing the chances. But, I think because Nico Jackson offers a lot to the game other than scoring goals, obviously, you want a striker to score goals. That's always the truth of it. But Nico Jackson does have a lot to do with the spaces that a lot of the other players get to take up. He drags defenders, he opens space for the likes of Cole Palmer, the likes of the deeper midfielders who make late runs into the box. And I think he also helps out his wingers, because when they do happen to get down the flanks or the fullbacks, he's usually there in the right sort of areas to at least, occupy some defenders and create space, if not, create the opening for himself. So, and then when you factor in that he's playing more confidently this season, seeing the goal hit the back of the net a few times, even the finish in this game, really, really neat finish. Something that you probably wouldn't seen him do last season. So, you have to say that he's really doing well this season. And, I think when I first saw him playing in the preseason last year for Chelsea, not first time I ever saw him, but the first time I saw him playing for Chelsea, I really and truly thought that he was going to be a problem for this league. And, even with all the misses last season, I think he got to about what, 13, 14 goals in the league. So, and that's in his first season in the league. So, I think now this season he's up to 7 with that goal this weekend and chipping in with assists as well. So, definitely becoming one of the top strikers in the league at this point. And when you're talking about the top strikers in the league, I think it's time that you start to say his name as well. I hate that I'm saying this, but the truth is the truth, people. Nicholas Jackson, I think, is doing really, really well. And yeah. Now, on the Leicester side of things, before we get off of that game, of course, Steve Cooper was sacked following this defeat to Chelsea. And it was kind of strange because, the manager who beat him right before he lost his job is the person who he took over for at Leicester, Enzo Maresca. So, it's kind of crazy how that happened. But, Steve Cooper, I don't know. I mean, do you think that sacking was really justified? I mean, Leicester, yes, they're struggling. They're on 10 points right now, 6 losses. And their recent form, not the best. But, was it a harsh sacking? I mean, we've seen other managers with maybe higher expectations this season doing poorly. They haven't been sacked. Yeah, I'm just not sure. Maybe there was some kind of, I don't know. They just figured they had to make this change, but for me, it just seemed a bit quick, especially the fact that this manager Cooper has seen off relegation challenges in recent history with teams. So maybe they have another manager in mind that they have found, and they wanted to go ahead and get that done now. But do you guys think that was a harsh sacking? Let me know in the comment section. So Leicester, without a manager at the moment, I think the caretaker will take over for now. They want to make sure they make a good decision, I think is what I heard from the brain trust at Leicester. So we'll have to wait and see. But Steve Cooper is out the door, people, at Leicester City. We have a player there that we definitely keep our eye on all the time, and that's Bobby Reid. So, we'll have to see how that affects him moving forward. He did come on in this game. Did Bobby Reid in the 70th minute, I think it was. Let's take a look at that real quick before we move on. So Bobby Reid, Arnett score. Bobby Reid came on in the 79th minute, and he did win the penalty that was converted by Jordan Ayew. He had 9 touches, 4 accurate passes on the day, 3 out of 4 ground duels, 1 out of 1 aerial duels. So all action performance in his short time on the pitch, 11 minutes plus injury time. Lost the ball twice. He was fouled twice. One of them being the penalty he earned. He did commit a foul and he made 1 tackle. So a 7.3 in a cameo appearance. Hopefully that's something that can spur the new coach on to give him some more time on the pitch. I think right now, I think for this game, Bonanate was out. So there was a little more room in the wing areas and attacking areas. But, surely they haven't found the perfect blend yet at Leicester with their results so far. So, no reason why Bobby Reid shouldn't get some more opportunities before it is all said and done. So that's the hope moving forward. But a good performance from Bobby. Looked fresh, looked rejuvenated. He had been sidelined for a while, did not make the trip in the international window, but did look sharp on this appearance off the bench. So long may that continue for Bobby Reid. Now, the next game, first, there was a number of games at 10 o'clock, but the first one we'll talk about is Arsenal and Nottingham Forest, people. So this game was seen as a tough matchup going into it. Of course, Forest going into the game, quite remarkably to some people in 3rd position, actually 2 places above Arsenal, even though they entered the game on the same amount of points. But Nottingham Forest, I thought one thing that was surprising to right away, if you take a look at the lineups for this one, when I saw a Forest lineup, This is what they started the game with. And, right away, you see Taiwo Awani, who started up front, and you don't see Chris Wood. Now, in the preview, I had mentioned that Awani gave us a lot of trouble last year, scoring in both fixtures. And, I didn't think he would start, but I did figure that he would get time on the pitch, just knowing the history that he's had against us. But when I saw him starting, I was very, very surprised, because I know that Chris Wood has been on fire, and maybe the thinking was, Chris Wood had just traveled. And when you're with New Zealand, you're going to some places to play the football. So I was thinking maybe, it has something to do with the fact that he just made the travel from New Zealand. But then again, would have been enough time before the next game. So, it was an entire week since he had last played. So, I don't know. It was kind of strange. Maybe he came back from international duty not feeling the best, maybe carrying a slight knock or something. So it still was surprising to me. Other than that, though, I mean, it looked pretty similar as to what we're seeing. I mean, Ward-Prowse had been coming off the bench a lot, but he started this one. The back four has been the same, and the goalkeeper, so that was the same. Now, on the Arsenal side, there were also some eyebrow raisers as well when you looked at the starting lineup. So I pretty much predicted this back line, because I knew Fury was back. Timber would be okay to switch back to the right position. In midfield now, Jorginho was a surprise for me. I figured it would be Partey. I figured Rice might be rested for the trip to Sporting in midweek, and then the following fixture on the weekend in the Premier League. Marino starting, wasn't surprised there. Odegaard starting, not there. But then up front again, things that I thought were a bit surprising. I figured Kai Havertz would start. He pretty much has started since, I would say, I don't know, like early this year, this calendar year, February-ish, I would say he's always been starting, whether it's in midfield or striker. Jesus got the nut up front, and Trossard was on the left, which I thought was surprising due to the fact that he was asked about since he had subbed off the pitch for Belgium in the international window. But Martinelli, of course, having a lot more travel going to South America and back, maybe that played into the decision to not start him in this one. But yeah, Arsenal went with this 11 for the game, and the stats look like this on the day. So Arsenal with 66% possession, 3-0 victory, but only 1.19 expected goals to a measly 0.33. That has to be one of the lowest for the year against Arsenal, I would say. One big chance created for Arsenal in the entire game, none for Forest. We outshot them 19-7. Keeper made 3 saves. We had 8 corners to their 1. About almost 300 more passes attempted. We had 7 shots on target. They didn't have any on target on the day. So yeah, domination there. As you can see, Timber and Saka and Odegaard on this right-hand side really was the bulk of the attacking. Trossard really was playing kind of central on this left-hand side for the most part, and Calafiori pretty much had that entire left side to himself. So yeah, the field was definitely tilted to the right, trying to make sure that we get Odegaard and Saka on the ball as much as possible. And it was a good game plan, I must say. Touches in the area a lot more for us. We did miss the one big chance we had. So, we scored 3 goals, missed the big chance we had. This was the balance of the play. So, obviously, most of it in the middle third, and the third, Arsenal's attacking third. Yep, almost, so a lot more accurate passes, almost 300 more. 54 final third entries to 29. So, for all the possession dominance, the shot dominance, really and truly, a lot of this game was played in the midfield, as evidenced by the entries. Typically, if you have that much of the ball, you'd want to create more big chances and have more entries. But to be fair, I mean, Nottingham Forest has been one of the more stingy defenses so far this season. One of the better defensive records. Rarely do they concede more than, I would say, 1 goal in a game. But Arsenal were able to find 3 on the day. Long passes, crosses. So not very accurate on the crosses were Arsenal on the day. But that's the statistics, people. But the actual team stats or the player stats, another big performance from Saka and Martin Odegaard as well. But Saka, I think I want to say this is about his 4th game with a 9 in the Prem this year. He does have the highest score rating in the Premier League so far. But look at these numbers, people, for your attacking player, the player that you want to, be the man in the day. 1 goal, 1 assist, so 2 contributions of the 3 goals. 2 on target shots, 3 shots blocked, 1 off target, 2 for 5 dribble attempts. So he's taking on players, 64 touches, 4 key passes out of the 37 accurate passes for 90%. Tried 5 crosses, successful with 1 of them, 2 long passes, and he made both. He did create a big chance, which was the assist goal. 4 for 8 on the ground duels, 0 of 1 on the aerials, lost the ball 13 times in 64 touches. So good retention as well for a player that's trying to make those final passes. Committed a foul and was fouled twice, so a 9. But for me, even though the rating is lower, Martin Odegaard was incredible in this game, people. I'm telling you, he was bossing everything. He had 1 assist as well, 83 touches, 90% passing, 60 accurate pass, 6 key passes. So incredible. 0 for 1 on the crosses, 3 or 4 on the through on the long passes. 1 shot on target, 1 shot blocked. Tried 4 dribbles, was successful on 3 of them. 4 of 7 on the ground duels, lost the ball 12 times, had 1 clearance, and was dribble past once and was fouled once. So 8.1 for Odegaard. So that right side, as I said, including Jurriën Timber, 7.1 for him. I think that whole right side really was clicking on this day. Timber showing his technical skills in tight space, and he really fits in with the style of play with Odegaard and Saka because they want to move the ball quickly. No, Nottingham Forest. Father, when me did tell you, yo, Red Skull, I feel away. We'll soon let you know the results, We'll soon let you know the results of the week. But I think he'll be happy. Chris Wood seems like a better option to the coach when Forrest got more of the ball. Okay. Yeah, well, I think it must have had to do with I didn't listen to any post-match analysis or talk from Nuno, but even without hearing it, it must have had something to do with the travel. Or he brought back some kind of niggling injury from New Zealand camp. Had to. Because he scored 2 goals in the international break. So it's not like he cooled off, We need a left winger because ball was always playing on the right hand side of the field. Need to change. Yeah. That's basically the stats show it too. Like I'd say, if you break it up into 100%, I'd say 85% of the time we played on the right side. Yeah, man, Doc Sports, big up yourself. Like the videos that you put out as well, the nice format, you just talk in a nice short video. That's really cool, bro. Subscribe to your stuff. So big up yourself, Doc Sports. All right. But yeah, Red Skull is true. I mean, Trossard wasn't even really out there because if you look at him heat map. So, he had some touches on the left-hand side, but look at this. Pretty much, and a lot of times he would have extended spells just, central. Really, he didn't really have as much room to drift when he was dropped back trying to win possession or something. But once he got into the final third, he had license to go everywhere. Creating overloads, in different places, finding half spaces, pockets of space. One thing that I heard going around too after this game is, how different does Arsenal attack look when Havertz isn't the focal point? Because I remember when Havertz first got to Arsenal, it almost looked as if he didn't quite fit in because it just seemed like when he got the ball, everything slowed down a little bit. The ball doesn't quite get off of his foot as quickly as, say, a Jesus or a Trossard or a Saka or a, Martin Odegaard, who, sometimes takes some extra touches. But if he could, he would play one touch the whole game. Marino, another slick, 1-2. Jorginho, the same. So at times when Arsenal was attacking this game, it looked so quick, so fluid. The movement, the passing, the one touch, it was looking real good. And one of the things people were saying is, how much of that was just not having Havertz out there involved. I wouldn't go so far. I think I've seen Havertz involved in enough plays that that were more than enough people. Oh yeah, no. So man scored 5 goals in the last 2. Yeah, so I was looking at the wrong set of games for New Zealand. It's these. Score a brace and a hat trick. But I 8 them a drop. Yeah, Oceania. So New Zealand probably go World Cup. Let me see. Sorry, sidetrack people, but I'm just interested now. Group A, Group B, round 3. So how this go? New Zealand got 9. Oh, so it's probably okay. So top 2 go to the final round, and then probably just one straight zone, and the winner of the zone go through. But New Zealand can't lose to none of them side. Fiji and New Caledonia. So Oceania, I think before, no matter who win, then would have got to a playoff. But I think now the new format, one team actually go straight to the World Cup. So New Zealand probably will qualify. No problem. Yeah. Kai just need to run to be number 9 and score goals. Yeah. Yeah, but I think, I don't know. I wonder if the team look a certain way because Havertz never play. I don't know, because we look at times in that game we look incredible, especially in the first half. Jeez, I play some patterns and just a bunks the football. DJ Giggs said Moreno was very poor on closing down players. DJ Giggs, Moreno needed help because he was being outnumbered. You never see that Odegaard and even sometimes Jesus go over there too, and then Saka over there already, and then Timber Tucky now in like a number 8-ish role, almost number 10, and it was just too many people. Sometimes a 4.2. But yeah, I mean, because the thing is, when the first time you close and you just get passed around, you gotta think twice now before you close. You gotta say, all right, let me look around first and see where the cover is so I can close down at the right angle. But there were too many angles. You can't close everything down if it's just you. And I think Arsenal did a good job of not waiting, because sometimes I feel like at times this season we take too long to get into the attacking position. So, the defense is so set to the point where Saka don't really have no way for influence the game, because if him go inside, there's the cover, them cutting off the line. But when you get Saka the ball, when the team still transitioning, one thing Saka does really well is know where that space is that them can't really stop in transition, and then find that space. And of course, when you add the added bonus now is Odegaard, even if we don't transition fast, him have the pass that can unbalance the team, even if them set up to defend. So yeah, it's getting more and more, it's looking more like what we thought it would look like this season in terms of how Arsenal doing the thing. So yeah, very, very happy with that result, and long may that continue. You see it. But Gunners, the cannon might be fixed. I don't know. Big result though. Let's see. We asked the question last week, or before the window, I should say, the international break. Is Forest really a legitimate top 4, top 6-ish type of team? And pretty much everybody was saying, no, they don't see it in the long run. I mean, some were giving them a top 10, others were saying just below 10, 12 to 14-ish type of thing. But let's see, you know, can they bounce back next week after this result 3-0? Really, we're never in the game, to be honest. You know, sometimes you can look back to a moment that could have changed the game, but don't really think they really had any of those. They did get the ball in the net late in the game, but it was ruled correctly offside. So back to the drawing board for them next week. Let's see. Jesus was trash. His time is up. Man couldn't even kick shot after goal, but him 230k a week. Ridiculous. Yeah, I think yeah, I don't know, man. It's a strange one, you know, because when we got Gabriel Jesus, even though I knew his scoring record wasn't the greatest, um, just the way he played as a footballer, I thought would be fine. Because even in the first season, you know, he started out on fire. Like most Arsenal forwards who signed them, they score in the first game, you know. And he did the same. I think he might have even scored in 2 weeks in a row when he first got him. And when the goals dried up, it was okay because man, he would do some incredible things in the build-up, you know, set up goals, 1-2s with people, draw fouls, you know, just a nuisance and always very good on the press. Fast forward now, couple more injuries later, and you know that kind of burst of pace isn't quite there anymore. And I think the more and more he doesn't score a league goal, I think now it's since January of 2024, so the start of this year, I think that's the last time he scored a league goal. So yeah, it's getting bad. And when you factor in the amount of money he's on, I think that's just, you know, more pressure for the guy. And he's not really handling it well. But anyway, let's move on from Arsenal, people. 3-0 to the Gunners. We love that result. And we move. Let's see what that did for the table in a minute. Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. This one was exciting. 2-2 draw. This game right here, people, Aston Villa probably count themselves. They probably look back and say, boy, they should have done better in this game, you know, had way more possession, the expected goals were heavily in their favor. But I think like one of the issues that I have with this Villa team, they do tend to concede chances. They rely on Martinez a lot, and if Martinez can't be Superman, you know, they normally are going to concede at least a goal in a match. 4 big chances were what they gave up on the day, and 4 big chances they created as well. But look at the shots, you know, they're giving up opportunities. Shots pretty even. Look at all the possession, but the shots are very close. The big chances are tied up. You know, that's the thing, you know, how much control do they really have in the game, even if they do kind of have control of the football. You know, they're always going to be at risk because they do play a very high line. You know, even when they lose possession, they don't really drop back into any kind of block. They kind of just stay in the shape that they were in while attacking and just try to win back the football. But, you know, some of these teams are getting smart to it and picking them off. And, you know, Ismail Assar was a problem in this game. I think, you know, people looking at this game and saying, okay, we're going to face Villa, put pace in your front line, because that high line, if you can get that time, that run properly, you're going to get chances in behind this defense. And that's what Palace was able to do on the day to create their big chances. City, they even had one more shot on target, so that goes to show. Let's see, big chances missed, 3 for Villa, 2 for Palace. So Villa were more guilty of missing the chances, but both teams culpable. Touches in the area of Villa. Let's take a look at the 84. So a good amount of entries for Villa, but 44 is not bad for the amount of possession they had. So, you know, one thing that shows is that Palace really figured out how to threaten this team, and they kept going back to it, and it was working. As I said, Ismail Assar was a problem in behind the defense all day long, and you know that was a part of the reason why, you know, Villa could have actually dropped all 3 points in this game, even though they had the bulk of the possession, missed a penalty and everything. You know, Palace was definitely in this game. But that's pretty much the statistics now. Let's take a look at the player statistics now. You know that we had Leon starting this one. We got a 7.0. This is his heat map right here. So, you know, good amount of touches in the attacking third. Of course, they had a lot of the possession, so they had the territory on the pitch. So that's why I see so many dangerous touches in and around the opponent's box and on the wing. Did have some touches in his own half as well, in his own penalty box. So he was back there working. Played 82 minutes in this one. 0.54 expected assists, 0.05 goals. 50 touches on the day, lost the ball 18 times. So not the best retention, but not the worst either. 22 of 28 for 79%. 2 key passes out of those 22. Tried 4 crosses on the night. Wasn't successful on any of them. Was 1 for 1 on his long passes. Had 1 shot off target. 0 for 3 on his dribbles attempted. Hit the woodwork with a blistering right foot shot going into the box. Looking back at the play, one probably could have said, okay, you have Ali Watkins streaking into the area. Can you find him? But decided to put his head down and go for it. And to be honest, the keeper was beaten. Just didn't quite have the angle. Hit the corner of the, basically where the crossbar and the post meet. And it was a good strike with his right foot. I must say, got some power behind it as well. That was when he hit the woodwork, and he did draw a penalty as well. Was controlling a ball in the box, and from behind, basically got stepped on, on the Achilles, basically went down, and it really was a penalty. And that was the one that Tielemans could not convert. He was 2 for 9 on the ground duel. So, I'm not so, upset with the lack of winning of the duels. I just like that he got into 9 duels, because felt like for the past few games when he's been playing, it almost looks like he doesn't even want to go into challenges at all. So you can see that he's gaining confidence, at least going into challenges. 0 for 1 on the aerials, committed a foul and was fouled twice. Other than that, didn't have any defensive actions. But 7.0 for Leon, that's a good rating for him, because, he didn't have a goal contribution, but he basically came really close to supplying a goal, getting fouled in the box. So yeah, good job from Leon. I think the most positive thing, he got through the international break playing a good amount of minutes, and he's back at Villa starting and playing a bulk of the game in this game, and not looking weary doing it either. So I think some of that speed is getting back, and we might be heading towards a stretch where we might see some much better performances from Bailey. At least we are hoping for that for sure. Ismail Assar, as I said, was a nuisance on the entire night. As you can see, had the highest rating on the pitch, 8.2. A player that if Glasner, he doesn't really have a role for wingers the way he plays with wing backs. But I do think that the way that Sarr played this game, running in beyond Mateta, that is something that I really like to see from this Palace team. Devaney, the youngster, got the game and scored a brilliant goal as well in this one. So big ups to him as a youth, getting a chance and scoring. Palace have quite a few people not around right now. When Ketia is out, Frank has been out forever. Wharton is out as well. Kamara got a red card. Eze was close for this one, but not quite back. So Kid taking his chance with both hands, and you like to see that from the young players. But 2-all points shared Villa points, especially with the table being so tight, but they were only able to get a point against Crystal Palace. So that one, I don't think many people predicted that. I think RR did say 2-all, and so did Nick. So yeah, only 2 people really got that one correct. Jorginho tried taking out Alanga because make him look like he was running. Bless up, float. Respect, Nigel. Hopefully I have 3 device and just drop 3 like on every last one of them. That would be nice. All right, so the next game, people, Bournemouth and Brighton, people. So this is a game where going into the weekend, I said, damn, why this game had to play the same time as the Arsenal game? Because I don't know people when Arsenal play, that game then I watch. Sorry. Now I did have, well, for a little bit, I did have access to a next device, so I could watch it. I made turn on the Villa game for try to see Bailey. But I end up watch about the Villa game because it depend on a channel that will remain nameless. Because it's not the easiest thing to say in the Jamaican language, so I won't even say it. But Aston Villa Palace was an entertaining game, I thought. But this Brighton Bournemouth game, just based on what I saw of the highlights, was a really, really good game. I didn't get to watch this one in full, but I knew going into it, it would be a very entertaining game, just based on how the two teams play. So in this game, right? So in this game, it was an interesting one because when you look at the attack momentum, Bournemouth had a lot of the game. Had a lot of the game. But I think where the difference was is I think the attackers of Brighton just have a little bit better understanding with each other. So, when they get the ball in dangerous positions, it just looks like it's going to be a little more threatening. And also, there just was a lack of they just weren't clinical enough on the day, Bournemouth, to be honest. When you take a look at the attack momentum, as I said, Bournemouth kind of bust that area of the game. But Brighton just did a much better job of taking full advantage of their opportunities. Bournemouth at home had the edge in possession. They did win the expected goals battle as well. They did create more big chances in the game, had way more shots. Verbruggen did his job in goal, having 4 saves. No corners for Brighton, 7 for Bournemouth. They had about 50 odd, 60 almost more passes attempted. Both team 20 tackles, more cards, and of course a red card for Brighton. That was Baleba, I think, in the second half, getting a second yellow. Shots on target, edge goes to Bournemouth 5-4. So even though they had all those shots, a much better accuracy, as I was saying, Brighton clearly exhibited much more of a ruthlessness in front of goal. Bournemouth hit the woodwork as well on the day. Touches in the area, Bournemouth had a lot more. 3 big chances missed. Brighton scoring both the big chances. So that was the difference in the game. And I think the quality of the Brighton chances was, better. That pass to Mitoma for the second goal from João Pedro was a work of art, So that was brilliant. Arnett up 2-0 now, so they're going to beat Veer. Here we're going. And then the final third entry is 78 for Bournemouth, 51 for Brighton. So that was kind of the stats there on the day. Now, when you look at the teams that started, this was Bournemouth 11. As you can see on this pitch today, Tyler Adams, just missed the international window, but, was fit enough to start this game, got 65 more minutes in his legs. So he'll be, anxious to get up and running and have a long stretch of playing time before the next window for the US. Semenyo, my baller in fantasy, have him in a few leagues, I think every league. Didn't do anything for me in this one, but always gonna be somewhere with the expected goals, somebody that always could give you something if you watch back the highlights of the games, more than a few opportunities to do something. Evan Nielsen, for me, was the difference as to why I didn't get more out of this game, even a draw. He had 2 big chances missed. As the striker, you know how that's life of a striker, right? Either you're the hero or you're the GOAT. And I don't mean greatest of all time GOAT, I mean the original thing we used to call a GOAT, which is kind of crazy how now we say the GOAT is that. Because one time the GOAT was, you don't want to be the GOAT, but life change. But Carlos Baleba, very good player, did get 2 yellows on this one. I think he does play midfield on the edge like that, so I guess he's gonna have days like this in his development. But João Pedro, man, I think what's crazy to me is there's 2 Brazilian. I think Brazil has kind of struggled with that quote unquote number 9/false 9, right? And for me, there are 2 players in the Premier League that typically are on the outside looking in of the Brazil national team. And recently, up until September there, they finally were bringing João Pedro along, but you see, didn't really got one game against Paraguay, didn't play in the other game. And Mateus Cunha, I don't know how these guys are not on Brazil's national team currently. When I look at the players that they're calling to play central forward, I'm just like, man, the disrespect is real, The disrespect is real. But Brighton, big side. I mean, this is the one game. No, I did a draw because at the last second, I was thinking, boy, should go with my instinct, man. I was thinking 2-1 Brighton the whole week, And while we are talking about the game, I give Bournemouth a little more stripes. I said 2-all. Yeah, man. Red Skull said, I told you, Brighton tough, recruitment a class. Yeah, man. You can lock your eye, you don't need to know who a coach them. Every man on the field could have injured. And them have make 11 sub. And the team still are going to play good. Yeah, man. It's a serious machine of recruitment them I deal with for real. Man, them know them are the star. Can't go around it. But Bournemouth Brighton are a really good game. Like key takeaways from this one for me. Evan Nielsen going to get chances in this team if them keep playing like this at home. And them just need to be more clinical. Brighton, they're going to be a problem, because they were doing all of this with Jorginho Ruta playing where João Pedro playing. But you see when this youth playing right here and Danny Welbeck, believe me, it's a difficult thing to stop because João Pedro is just that wild card. The pass he played to Mitoma, I can't stop talking about it. It was such a good pass, people. When I know the pass I talk about, right? The man opened up the entire defense. The entire defense with the ball to Mitoma. So, yeah. This team right here is a sleeper team. Brighton, I think they are a team that I think could potentially, stick around that European area of places. We'll see. As I said before, I thought it was somewhat of a blessing in disguise that Dunk isn't around, because I do feel like this guy Igor Julio is better than him, and I think Van Hecke is probably their best central defender. So, yeah, let's see what happens when Dunk is. He was doubtful for this one, wasn't on the bench. So let's see what happens. The club captain when he gets back to fully fitness, if they break up that partnership or not. Yeah, but that's about it, people. Bournemouth, Brighton getting the win. Keep marching on. They have some good wins this season. Now, this game, people, Everton, Brentford. Now, this was a madness because, Brentford, I thought was about to score. And then they get a red card. Norgard with a mad challenge, upgraded to a red eventually on VAR. And then once that happened, the game obviously changed, and Everton was able to take a stronger hold in terms of the territory and the possession and everything. Very rarely you see that almost 60% possession for Everton, but that happened on this day. The expected goals were pretty even, 1.2 to 1.1, which suggests a draw was a fair result. Two big chances created by Brentford, and those were both in the first half, when they had the full complement of players. Everton 27 shots on the day, 14 of them in the second half. 5 saves on the day by Flecken, who had a really good day in goal. Actually, the two Dutch keepers in the league had very good days, Verbruggen and Flecken, or at least the two national keepers. More passes attempted, of course, by Everton having the ball more. Shots on target 5-2. Everton attacked down the left-hand side predominantly. Brighton spent a lot of time defending. 2 big chance miss, 1 for Everton. So neither team able to score, obviously. Final third entries heavily to Everton, 72-45. Now, of course, in this one, Tarkowski had a good rating. Idrissa Gueye as well. So they split the honors for man of the match. Flecken really well, 8.1, but the highest rated outfield defender was Ethan Pinnock for Brentford. He had a 7.7. Monster game at the back. 90 minutes played, 7 clearance, 3 block shot, 1 interception, no tackles, no times, dribble pass, 0 for 1 ground duels, 2 of 3 in the air, 47 touches, last possession 5 times, committed a foul, was 28 of 33 for 85%, 1 key pass, 1 big chance created, 0 of 4 on the long passes, and 1 shot off target as well. So all action for Pinnock, always the one clearing the ball the most for Brentford. And another top performance. I think it's been quite a few in a row now for Pinnock in terms of the performances. So this is like his last 6-7 games. 7.7, 7.1, 7.1, 7.2, 8.2, 7.4, 7.3 for Jamaica, 7.3. The last time he was under 7 was all the way back September 28th against West Ham, and just barely at 6.9. So yeah, Pinnock just consistently giving you 7s at this point in the season now. He's at a 7.1 for the whole season in the Premier League. So Pinnock continuing to do his thing in terms of consistency and just putting in good performances, and a hard-earned draw for Brentford on the day. I think if they keep the full complement of players, I wouldn't be surprised if they find a winner on this one, but they had to settle for the point, and I'm sure in the context of what happened in the game, they're probably happy for that point. Then, this was probably one of, I would say, 3 kind of shocking results for the weekend. This was Wolves beating Fulham 4-1, people. 4-1. So, people probably got tired of me in the preview show talking about how I think big up Conrad, blessings, how I thought Wolves was way better than their points tally showed, and boy, did I feel vindicated when I saw this result, because I just always felt like Fulham, Wolves had a result like this in them based on how they were playing. They were very unlucky in some games, at the worst moments, they would miss chances that could get them back in the game. But this game, everything was going off for them. Fulham didn't even play horribly, to be honest. But some of those goals from Mateus Cunha, the one from Gomez as well, even the last one by Guedes, a brilliant pass to free him. So, yeah, good goals. It always opened the scoring. Fulham probably felt like they were probably going to be off to the races with that Iwobi goal, because they were in the ascendancy all up to that goals being scored. But it just wasn't meant to be for them on the day. And Cunha, kind of with a foreshadowing with his goal in the 31st minute, just before later on when he would score a brilliant curling strike from outside the box. Actually, kind of becoming like a trademark type finish for him, because he tends to, when he scores, score from outside the box quite a bit. Cunha on the day was the best player, but let's look at the stats overall in this one. The expected goals, as I said, 4-1, but only 1.32. So there were just some really, really good finishes. And as I said, maybe they were just due for a day like this after some of the performances and what they ended up leaving those performances with before, for them to get 4 goals with only 1.32. Maybe that's just the football gods, finally shining a light on them. 2 big chances for Wolves to the 1 for Fulham. They both had 10 shots on the day. So pretty even there. The fouls exactly the same. Fulham had more of the ball, so attempted more passes. 23 tackles, 17. Exactly 14 free kicks. 3 yellow cards to Fulham, none to Wolves. Shots on target, Wolves did edge them 5-3. Fulham hit the woodwork twice on this day. I know Harry Wilson hit it once, who's been on fire lately for club and country. But it wasn't meant to be for him on this day, coming really close. I remember, what's his name? Raul Jimenez missing from point blank range from a good cross from Robinson. Oh, so Butler don't want to talk today. All right. respect to Mr. Butler. Let Lenny Hyde just do him interview, you know. Big chance miss. 1-0, okay. Touches in the area exactly. This game was very even, you know, for the in terms of in the box entries. Fulham had 15 more. So that was that for the most of the stats there. Lineups, right? So Leno had a mirror, just conceding goals, negative goals prevented. That's never good. I mean, that's harsh though. Most of the goals that went in, him couldn't none about them. But Cunha, this game, really good game. 8.7. Yeah, man, this guy is not normal, man. He's on serious form right now. I mean, there's no international window till March, but if he doesn't get injured and just keeps playing like this, if Brazil don't pick him, I don't know what to tell you people. Them not like the English league, man, them I guess. I don't know, but that wouldn't make no sense because Richarlison was starting before him kind of losing way, and Martinelli typically will make the team, so I don't know. I'm just not rate the striker then maybe. Because Jesus, well, I don't know how Brazil could have picked Jesus right now, so I understand that one. So Fulham Wolves, that was one of the big upsets on the day. I don't think anybody, not anyone predicted a Wolves win for that game. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no, one person did. So big up to Biggs G. Biggs G actually did predict that. So that's crazy. No. Haven't announced the winner or the donkey yet. Just going through the games first. When Cunha is on form, his positioning, vision, and ability is world class. Nick, I have to agree with you. I've been saying that for a while. From he was at Atletico Madrid, I was thinking to myself, why doesn't Simeone play this guy? I don't get it. Then he came to the Prem and I was like, Wolves? Really? Like none of the other clubs wanted him? And, you know, I think that might have been the best thing for him for real because he's definitely enjoying being like the focal point in a team. And he it's fine. Like teams know that they have to stop him and they still can't stop him. So that shows me something about his ability. And he's just technically gifted, you know. Has a good shot with both feet. The right foot is deadly though. And he can pass as well, combine as well, link up as well. He works hard. He drops back on defense. You know, he's a good player. Very, very good player. Maybe the thing is, you know, what is his actual position? Maybe. I don't know. But who cares? That type of player, you just put him out there and tell him to play. Bless up Game Birds. What go on? We're outside, you know. We're outside, bro. Big up yourself. Yeah, anybody will just join, you don't know the drill. Smash that like button. I don't know if you late or me early, Game Birds. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, bro. But yeah, the kids, you know, the kids have a sleepover tonight. So I wanted to get the show up and gunning and finished, you know? Yeah, because, yeah, the less said, the better. So Man City versus Tottenham is the next game, people. So this one is another one that even though Man City had lost, what was it? 4 in a row before this game, 2 in the league and 1 in the cup and 1 in the Champions League. I don't think anybody would have predicted a 4-0 Tottenham game. As a matter of fact, there was only one. Actually, a lot of you did, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 4 people out of about 12 that did the picks did actually pick a Tottenham win. So it's about 33%, right? Did pick a Tottenham win. So maybe it wasn't a big shock in terms of the result, but the number or the score line must have been a shock. 4-0. City picks up at the Etihad. 4-0. 2 goals from Madison, 2 very good goals, I must say. The first one, Kulusevski, who even though he didn't score, was probably my man of the match for Tottenham. Played a wicked pass to Maddison. Maddison made a great run, not tracked by Gundo, who is not really a defensive midfielder. So, that's where it kind of came to bite. Just doesn't have that instinct. He was trying to point and tell someone to pick him up when really there was no one to pick him up. He had to stick with him there. And then Maddison again, creating the goal, passing it into the box, then making a brilliant run into the box, just going late into the box. Son, they have to watch him cutting in on that right foot. He plays the reverse pass, and Maddison chips it over the keeper. I think that image is in the thumbnail. That finish was clean. And then Pedro Porro getting a goal as well. Brilliant attack from Tottenham on the counter. Solanke, good composure, catches the ball instead of trying to force a shot from an angle, waits for support and just lays it off well for Porro to finish. And then Brennan Johnson at the death, just getting another goal. Timo Werner, just runs past Kyle Walker, something that we're seeing too frequently these days. Kyle Walker just not able to, get to the speed that he previously could. Right now, he's just either he's struggling with injuries or he just lost a step. I'm not sure, but he looked out of it there. Werner just running by him, and then Johnson streaking in at the far post. So when Werner and Johnson run together, because even in that play, there's a moment where Johnson realized, if I don't sprint full speed, this cross going past me, and then put him head down and just go to another gear. And right when he came across, he was sliding in to tap it in for 4-0. So honestly, I love the fact that City lose a game 4-0, but I can't really get so happy because it's Tottenham at the end of the day, right? So Tottenham did their job in terms of making an opponent that's above me drop points. So we appreciate that from that team. But the 4-0, man, it's crazy. 4-0. But let's take a look at the numbers and see, how did this 4-0 really happen? If you look at the attack momentum right there, for long periods in this game, City were on the front foot. I'd say they created chances as well. It wasn't like they just had possession doing nothing with it. And based on the stats, let's see. So 58%, look at the expected goals. Pretty even, 2.51 to 2.14. So Spurs, credit to them. They still won the expected goals game, but it was very close. 6 big chances created is crazy. At home at the Etihad, to concede 6 big chances, there's definitely an underlying problem, I think. Even in different dips in form over the years for City, this type of vulnerability to teams and their ability to create chances is crazy. I've never really seen it under Pep, barring maybe like right at the start of his reign. 23 shots to 9 in favor of City, so still dominant in terms of shooting. But the shots on target will be telling as well when we look at that. 5 saves on the day to Vicario, 3 to Edison. So, as I said, it wasn't like one-way traffic for Tottenham. 5 saves for Vicario, he put in a shift, so it's not like he was just there, relaxing the whole time. They had 9 corners to 3 for Spurs. Passing, that's actually not bad. At the Etihad, usually they attempt about 250 to 300 more passes than most opponents. This was more of a 150, 140 difference there. City had 4 yellow cards, 2 for Spurs. Shots on target, again, 23 to 9 in favor of City, but the on target stats only 5 for City and 7 for Spurs. So there you go again. Both teams hit the woodwork once. Then we have 4 big chances scored to 2 missed in terms of Spurs, and then all 4 of the big chances missed by Manchester City. 2 through passes. I think both of those might have been De Bruyne when he came off the bench. This man can find passes ridiculously. 43 touches in the area to 17. Let's look at the entries. 61 to 26. So, a lot of these metrics and stats would lend itself to think that City at least got a point in this game or got something out of this game. But, the big ones, big chances, they didn't convert any of the 4 that they had. Half chances, obviously, they didn't convert either. So, if you don't convert and you give up so many gilt-edged chances to the opposition, then these type of things can happen to you if you just, can't kill the momentum by getting a one goal, and just, letting them think you're in the game. But, once it went to 3-0 and they weren't able to get it back to 3-1 anytime soon, it was really only going to be one winner on the day. Because even at 3-0, I'm thinking, all right, they'll probably come back and draw this 3-all, once they, but it just wasn't meant to be. Even Erling Haaland, got a 6.8 on the day. Had a bunch of shots and opportunities, expected goals almost at a 1. 2 shots on target, 4 off target, 1 shot blocked. He was successful dribble once, hit the woodwork 1 time as well, and he had 2 big chances that he missed. So yeah, I mean, 2 key passes on the day, but Erling Haaland on another day could have had a couple of goals, maybe even a hat-trick. But honestly, the story is really not Man City on this day. It is definitely Tottenham. James Maddison had the highest rating on the day, but like I said, for me, the player of the game was Dejan Kulusevski. Thought Porro played well as well, got him a goal. The back line that I was very worried about, especially the centre-back pairing, I must say they did their thing. And, Vicario, have to give him credit. He was actually very, very capable as far as on the set pieces. That's typically a big problem for him, but he did well in that regard. And yeah, Kevin De Bruyne, people, I'm telling you, see this little cameo? Make me say, Jano star. This guy is different. Yeah, 2 key pass in the cameo. Both of them did create a big chance. I remember 1 reverse pass that him played in a 1-2 to what his name, Haaland. What a ball. Like through 3 people with the perfect weight on it and everything. Yeah, man, he's different, man. Different type of ball of that, man. The man can pass. But yo, it's crazy, people. So I have to say, I mean, is this crisis time for City? I know Hot Chili is here. I'm sure him have some thoughts. I don't know, bro. This was crazy. Big up yourself, Christine. Thanks for joining. Big up, big up. Boy, I get him best birthday gift that was special for Tottenham. Beat City twice in a season. Yeah. Yeah, because them knocked them out of the EFL, no? What a great game. A true Liverpool fan. Man, them get mad from loss to Tractor Boys to revenge and win against the Giants. Yo, I'm telling you, like, it's the most Spurs thing to do for real. Lose to Ipswich in that manner the week before and then now drop 4 love. Humble. Yeah, man. Humble. I saw a stat that ever since the man tell Arteta to be humble, his expected goals is like 8 point something goals and him only scored 2 or something like that. Goal less. Yeah, man, the football gods have spoken. As a matter of fact, I have a special delivery for the citizens, Let me drop it off to them. Let me drop off the package, Let me drop off the package. Let's see if I have it on here. I have it. So this people. I have a special delivery. Yo. As a wise man once said, if I speak, yeah, man, just stay humble for real, actually. Just like the picture say. Yeah, bro. When I saw this, I had to save it, bro. Stay humble. I had to save it, bro. I was dying when I opened that thing and I saw that, man. But yeah, Pep was talking to the people them today before them Champions League game tomorrow, and the man The man getting very testy with the reporters, bro. Like the man want to jump off the podium and go slap few of them. But yeah, it's rough. It's rough. They're going through it right now, and with the injuries that they have and some of the key pieces that they're missing. I think De Bruyne getting healthy. He played this last game. I think he might even start tomorrow, but they're very vulnerable, and I just don't know if they'll be able to just outscore every team, because right now their defense is not looking good at all. They can't. I think Pep was saying in the press conference, and he's so right. He said most of the players that would help them in defensive transition have been injured. And so, there's really no replacement, because he's like, and people have said this about him. He's like, we're going to play the way we play. And if you don't have the players that can do those jobs anymore in the team, it's not going to work the same. So, yeah, it's not going to work the same. All right, people. So that was a big one, people. 4-0 Tottenham. If they don't win a trophy this season, which we know they won't, they can at least look back and say, yes, we went to the Etihad, went to the Etihad and emptied it out, Liverpool had to use the kids. Welcome to EPL healthcare operation. Yeah. I mean, all the teams have been through it. Arsenal has been through it in run-ins, and you see, like, they lose players, and that caused them to stumble. We're seeing Liverpool go through it, lose key players in certain parts of the season, in their title run-ins and stuff. But I think they have been the luckier with the injuries, and also I think in years past they might have had more cover in certain areas that they don't quite have this time. So yeah, I think they were a little light in some spots, and it's coming back to haunt them now. Honestly, I want them beat Liverpool and lose afterward, just catch up in points. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Just for Liverpool not to win. But the thing is, I mean, maybe the match draw, but I don't see City beating Liverpool right now. I just don't see it. Not with how the team is playing or with how they set up and the personnel that they have. I just don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, lose key players is one, but never lost the best player in the world. That's true. That's true. I mean, we don't own the best player in the world either, but we have lost our best player before. I think in that season when we lost Saliba, he was our best player when the season was about to end. But yeah, I mean, not the best in the world. That is true. Not a Ballon d'Or winner, but we don't have one, so you can't really say that about me. If we don't have the possibility to do it, then you can't blame us for that. Southampton, Liverpool, people. That's the next game. So all you Liverpoolians in the building, it's your time now. Now again, at some point, I want to think that these performances Liverpool is having, where teams are getting chances on them, and they're conceding 1 and 2 goals here and there. It's gonna catch up with them at some point, I think. But I still feel like even though they conceded 2 goals, they were pretty much in control of this game for the most part. I mean, yeah, obviously they were down 2-1 at one point, got the equalizer not soon after going down. And of course, it took them a while until 83rd minute to get that third goal via the penalty spot. But it was coming, people. I mean, they were getting lucky, blocking shots, defending with their lives. And it just seemed inevitable that they were going to get the third goal at some point. And it was really some panic defending that caused that penalty to take place. The defender just got it all wrong. Got his arm in a terrible position, bounces off his side and goes up to his arm. Had to give the penalty. Salah scores it to make it 3-2. I was wondering, because I've seen Salah score a penalty, take off his shirt and stuff, but he almost looked angry, so I was trying to figure out, like, why did something happen in the game? And then afterwards it comes out that, he's maybe thinking about not being asked about a new contract as yet. And that's kind of where that celebration was coming from. So, it made sense after I found that out, because it did seem in the moment like I had either missed something in the game that happened while he was like so, obviously it was a big goal. It was to take the lead, but still, I mean, Mo Salah has done that how many times for Liverpool, scored a game-winning goal, so it just seemed like a bit much for a game away to Southampton, but now that I know the story behind it and everything, it makes sense, because it did seem like almost like a FU to everybody, you know what I'm saying? And it makes sense that he's kind of disappointed that they haven't even sat down at the table with him to say, okay, Mo, this is what we're thinking, so he basically staked his claim again for being a Liverpool player till he wants to not be a Liverpool player anymore. I mean, he's still producing at the highest level. So this was the stats for the game. Liverpool 62 to 38, 3.15 to 1.28 expected goals, 7 big chances created by Liverpool, 3 big chances created by Southampton though, so not bad. 27 to 7 on the shots, 8 saves made by the goalkeeper, so he put in some work. I think that was Ramsdale's backup keeper, McCarthy, the veteran, who had a bad error for the first goal, and even the second goal, man. To be honest, every single goal in this game, Southampton basically give them. Because the cross to the back post, the man never have to handle that ball, him just panic. Yeah, but that's what good teams do. You make mistakes, they punish you. And that's what Liverpool did on the day. And they did create, apart from the mistakes as well. So, if a team's already creating, your keeper's making some brilliant saves, the letdown of the way they conceded those goals, man, it was terrible. 11 shots on target to 5 in favor of Liverpool. They hit the woodwork once as well. I think that was Salah going for his hat-trick. And I tried to finish near post with a volley, but hit the inside of the post and somehow didn't go in. But yeah, that could have been his hat-trick on the day. More shots in the box, of course. Big chances, scored 2 and they missed 5. So they were guilty of missing some chances as well. 1 big chance missed for Southampton of their 3. And then the final third entry, 77 to 27. So domination there, as to be expected. But Southampton, they did have some positives, I thought, in this game. One being, McCarthy, after the mistake, I thought did really well for himself. Then Tyler Dibbling, only got a 6.7, but I thought he played really well. Was the one that earned the penalty, which Adam Armstrong missed, but converted the rebound, or it got saved and he got the rebound follow-up. Mateus Fernandes, I think, is a plus for them as well in that midfield. Good player. Onuachu did cause some trouble before he had to come off injured. And then, of course, on the Liverpool side of things, Szoboszlai had the highest rating. Salah with the brace. To be honest, I don't think Salah was having the best game in the world, other than the 2 goals he scored. Did have a little spell where he started to play a lot better once he got that first goal. So I think once he scored, he pretty much ended the game really well. But prior to that, it was kind of quiet. I thought Gakpo had a decent game on the left-hand side. I thought it was one of Kanate's poorer games in this one, to be honest. I know, obviously, I'm looking at the ratings, but I'm just thinking of things I saw in the game. Just seemed to take, kind of bad angles at times. Just didn't quite have his bearings at times, it seemed. But Kelleher, again, solid performance, I thought, from him, for the most part. And, yeah, I remember asking, who you think's going to start at left back, because I don't think that slot's going to start one of them and then start the other one in the midweek against Madrid. So I think I've gotten my answer. I think Robertson will be the one to maybe watch from the sideline, even though I thought it was one of Robertson's better performances this season. McAllister, when he came on, did make a difference, I thought. Added some good, just another dimension to the midfield. I thought since he turned into a father, this was one of Curtis' more quiet games. And I thought that McAllister came on and did provide an impact. But yeah, I think, right now, what can you say? Arne Slot pressing all the right buttons. He's doing very well. I think in the history of the league, through 11 games, he has the highest win percentage. So I wouldn't expect after 12 for that to change, since they got 3 more. So yeah, I mean, what can you really say? He's doing his thing. All right, let's see what's going on. Slot machine, bingo. Red Skull said, boy, I'm lucky you fuck. Big up Richard Edwards. Oh, go on, coach. Big up, big up. At Anfield looking a bit rough, but still believe until further notice. All right, so I actually say he's seen enough pure shite defensively by Pool, and we got two, arguably three gifts. Yeah, I would say 2 3/4. Maybe one wasn't a full gift. It was like, you just have to go to place and pick it up. I buy it for you, but you still have to go pick it up. But I don't know how coach make CDM change. Man, fool your F. Oh, you talk about him name Russell Martin from Southampton. Yeah, say when on Anwar who did that cause the problems get injured. My man bring on a CDM. Yeah. Him kinda, I don't know. But him did move around the team, like he move an next player in the role, and I don't like him just go away from other forward. But I'm sure yeah, say still it kinda just don't look right. I'm sure him could have bring on Archer. Liverpool in the building. Okay. So Liverpool are your side. Yeah, man. Not too big narrative. But one at a time, let me see the man take down the ball and move well skillful. If Liverpool not score about 4 next week, I don't know. Yeah, boy, I don't know either. 32 is not ideal for Pool either, though. 32? Oh, you talk about Onuachu. I don't think he's ideal for anybody. The guy's huge, man. 3 dribbles, they couldn't stop him. 19 touch, 6 out of 8. Winning the duels, 5 of 6. 1 long ball successful. 1 clearance. Was fouled twice. So yeah, it was a nuisance, And it was a shame that he had to come off because he was definitely causing problems. But when you look at their bench, it could have easily been Cameron Archer for him just to keep, But maybe what he went for was he just moved Adam Armstrong into the striking role when he brought on Leslie. Because he had a Rebo on who can play wide. So he probably, that's all he really did was shift around the pieces, But he could have went for Archer right there in the 52nd minute and go for it a bit more. But I think once he lost that physical focal point, it really never, it wasn't quite the same, It wasn't asking the same questions at Liverpool after that. So kind of changed the game a bit actually. Man, them sell out the game. Facts. They even know that man give Liverpool the game. Yeah, them give them a game star. After Saturday, never really have no hope of Pool dropping points, even when the game was level. Oh yeah. It's just your weekend is done. Well, me never feel so hot chilly. Me did a cheer for Southampton, Cause my side they give me a vibes in my game. Southampton was once Liverpool Academy. That is true. It really was. Even though Southampton was just a lot of people academy, to be honest, because we did raid them a few times too. We get Theo from them, we get Oxlade who end up give you after a while. Yes, Kyle Walker Peters is very good, and JFF, please. I don't believe England is calling him anymore or ever again. And I'm pretty sure he probably want to play international football in the World Cup. So do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, Salah age 32. Yeah. But I haven't offered him a contract. Yeah, I mean, look. I think that might be part of the reason why I'm take off him shirt. Cause I must say, yo, I might be 32, but it look like I'm going to be unfit anytime soon. So there was some messaging in that shirt take off, Right, let me show you guys just how old I am. But yeah, another one that was a big one going into the weekend. So Liverpool did their thing again, people. Can't go around it. They keep on winning. So we'll see how long this continues. But they have an 8-point lead now over second place. So that's a big gap right there, people. So it's official. If Liverpool don't win the league this year, they have bottled it. All right. So that's one thing we learned this weekend, that there's a bottling candidate early on in the season, because 8-point lead is like, I mean, if you don't win this, you are terrible. You're terrible. All right. So Ipswich and Man U, this was actually a very good game. An even game, maybe more even than we would have expected. But at the same time, even though we had the new manager bounce in mind, maybe it's almost too soon to get it, because the tactics seem to be so different from the last manager that it might take a little more time to get that, what we perceive to be that new manager bounce. Now, it felt like they might get it because Rashford, who I dropped in my fantasy league, or one of them, and I sent a message when I saw the starting lineup with him up front. I said, boy, am I going to regret dropping Rashford, and I mean, before anybody could even respond, Rashford scored in like 80 seconds. So, it looked like it was going to be, an easy day for them at Ipswich after that goal. But, very quickly that changed. I thought Ipswich did a really good job of just playing their football, not changing because they went down 1-0. They just pretty much played as if it didn't happen. And in the end, it was Omari Hutchinson, after what I thought was like probably the best I've ever seen Omari Hutchinson play over like an extended stretch of a game in the Premier League. Like in that first half, he was simply unplayable in the midfield. Like he was turning people inside out, just creating space for himself. Great decisions, when he's under pressure, just letting it go quickly. When he has time and space, driving into that space, picking the right passes. And I think he was the way he got a little bit of fortune for his goal, but it's kind of one of those where he kind of deserved that fortune just based on how his game had been going so far. And even the shot that he took was on target. It just got a little help with the glance off of Mazraoui. But this was Omari's game by the numbers, people. Because they may have changed his flag on here to England, but when you go down, there's only one team that I see that is represented, and that's Jamaica. So until that says England 3 caps, yeah, I will still be looking out for this player, people, believe me. But anyway, this was his game by the numbers, and it was an impressive one. 90 minutes played, 1 goal, 0.15 expected goals, 0.04 expected assists. He had 69 touches. Whoa. 36 of 42, 86%. In those touches, he had lost the ball 16 times, so not terrible. Again, for the attacking players, you want to see them about 25% or lower. That's really good, I think, in terms of losing possession. 36 of 42 for 86%. That's very good. 1 key pass on the day, 1 of 1 long passes, 0 and 2. 2 crosses attempted, didn't complete any. 2 shots on target on the day, 1 shot block, 2 for 4 dribbles. Ground duels all over the place, 7 of 14. Not the biggest player, but one thing I will say is low center of gravity, and he's deceptively strong. Usually gets into challenges, doesn't really, you don't see him bounce over too many times. He just knows how to use his body with that low center of gravity. 7 of 14, not bad. 2 fouls committed, was fouled once. He had 1 clearance on the day. Don't show any ad. How about that? Yeah, so Ipswich Man U though. Let's take a look at how Man U actually started the game. So we knew that this coach was going to play a wing-back system with a back 3. What we didn't know is who he would think on this Man U team plays where. So, I guess the biggest eyebrow raiser was Amad Diallo as a wing-back. But anybody that followed this coach, typically, he tends to play like one super attacking wing back option and one more defensive one. So that balance made sense with Dallo and Ahmad. I guess one would wonder which side would you play Ahmad, right or left, with him being left-footed. He chose to put him on that right side, which is probably more comfortable for him as a winger and attacking. And we know Dallo is pretty much a player that plays left or right anyway, so he's comfortable on that left-hand side. Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho kind of played almost dual number 10 roles. I think Bruno Fernandes, this definitely fit him more in terms of how he's asked to play in this system than a Garnacho, who I think is probably going to be most effective as an out-and-out wing forward type player. So let's see how he fares in this type of system. Rashford, even I think, would be even better suited for how Garnacho was playing. But Rashford did look decent in the what I would say is a striker, but more of a central forward role. Has license to really go all over the pitch, as is evidenced by his heat map here. You see him drifting out left, dropping deeper as well, kind of linking up play. So freedom for Rashford, not really asked to play quote unquote back to goal center forward or striker, which we know he kind of struggles in. He does have the option to kind of run into different channels and get into comfortable areas. But the main thing is, he made sure to be in the box in the final moment when Diallo did make that run early in the game before the cross. So yeah, I think it's an interesting one. I'm curious to see what he thinks of players like Luke Shaw, Uarte, Hoyland, Xerxes, Mount, all these players that came on. Anthony, who they said was playing wing back in training, didn't see the pitch. Menu still coming back from injury. Malacia is back now. Could you see him get a berth on that left side eventually? Johnny Evans subbed off for Luke Shaw, who a lot of people thought, with Lisandro Martinez always out, maybe Luke Shaw would be the left centre back. So let's see what he decides. I think Amorim, for now, is probably going to test out a lot of these players. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of changes game to game, because he'll be really evaluating and trying to see, because obviously the style he plays wouldn't suit all the players in this roster. So he's just trying to see who can do what right now. And I think United fans need to realize that maybe because of the nature of the team and because of the change of style being so drastic, it might take some time to get some results under this coach. But let's see. Maybe he can figure out a way to figure it all out and get results at the same time. I don't know if that's possible, but I know he's going to try. But in the end, the Tractor Boys got a point. So that's two good results for them, I would say. Beating Tottenham away and then drawing with United at home. If they looked at their fixtures before they started this season, if you told them they'd get 4 points in those two fixtures, I'm sure they would take it. So, yeah. Yes, and he's a smart man to say that. Started a fire, so VAR couldn't work, but changed his mind when Amari scored that racket, allegedly. Omari Hutchinson showed his class. Yeah, man, he was playing excellent in that game. United player didn't understand the 3-4-2-1. Yeah, he said that they were overthinking it too much. It just wasn't coming naturally. So, yeah. Look at Omari now playing first team football, and some people was comparing him with players that can't even get on the bench. DJ Giggs, not even that they were comparing him. People told him that those players were better than him and he needed to work on his game while they continued to pick the other players, because Omari needed more work to get to their level. So that's how deluded these coaches are. Uarte is one of his former players. Yeah. And I think I don't think that's the main reason he didn't play, like because he knows him already. I think it was probably because, he would have played games in the qualifiers, like started both games for Uruguay. Sums up United, to be honest, buys two strikers and then ends up with a system that Rashford is the best candidate. Yeah, that's true. It's happened before, where like they buy players and they don't even fit because by midway through the season the coach gone. Yeah, it's well said for real. That's exactly how it go. Everybody agrees or laughing, madness at the highest level. Yeah, DJ Gigs, it pissed me off, bro. And the problem is, people don't know the half, them just think that the players them this Jamaica and I use Jamaica and And most of the time, we do the shit to the players that they don't even know. They don't even know the half. And if you try to tell them say, oh, you don't know, and we don't know what you're talking about. And that's true, you know, love local ball and all kind of foolishness them come with. So yeah. More while I just feel like, you know, so it go. People are gonna think what they want to think, no matter if you give them facts, them don't want it. Or them not believe your facts. They want some other facts. We're more in line with what them I think. But it is what it is, bro. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? One day, they will come to their senses, and you'll see us start to miraculously get these players that McLaren claim to say all of them were good one wait for England, you know. But we have to look in ourselves for change it, you know. But we don't want to do it. Anyway, Newcastle and West Ham people. Now, this was the other game I would say. I don't think anybody predicted this result. Yeah, every single person who put in some picks got this game wrong. Newcastle at home playing against a hapless West Ham this season. And just in true form for this week for some of these games, West Ham out of the blue has a good performance and they win the game 2-0. You know, Newcastle did have their opportunities, but you know, West Ham just kind of controlled the game. They got the goal from the set piece, which was ironic because they hadn't scored from a corner all year, and Newcastle hadn't conceded from a corner all year. And it was just one of those weekends where if things hadn't happened in a while or things didn't happen, they were going to happen this time. And Souček, out of all the players, how is Souček going to be unmarked at the penalty spot? The one player that you'd probably look at this lineup and say, yo, don't give him a free head up on a corner. And Souček somehow got a free header from the corner, good whipped outswinger from Palmieri, and it was put away well into the corner, so the keeper had no chance. And then the second goal, just a nice build-up play. Bowen, you know, taking the underlapping run by Wan-Bissaka, playing a good ball to his feet, and you know, Wan-Bissaka not known for that part of his game, at least not the end product part of his game. You know, finished that one as if he had been practicing that all week in training. So that made it 2-0. And, you know, Newcastle huffed and puffed. And I thought they definitely should have had a penalty in the second half. I don't know how Mavropanos is not called for a foul. And that challenge to Callum Wilson, who is back from injury now, off the bench. And who knows, you know, they get that penalty, they convert it. It's 2-1 at St. James Park. With the history of West Ham's team this season, you know, you would think they might crumble there, but you know, they were able to stick it out, and you know, I think that they probably deserve the win, if I'm being honest. I mean, the expected goals were in the favor of Newcastle, I see that, but and they had two big chances on the day that they couldn't convert. But I just thought that West Ham, you know, they were always a little more dangerous to me when it came on to just, you know, inside the box. You saw shots on target, they had the advantage. The shots were very close. If you look at the final third entries, you know, Newcastle edged it, but almost 50 entries in a game, that's a good amount. So, you know, West Ham, I thought, were in this football game much more, at least, than some other games we've seen West Ham play this year. And for whatever reason, the ball just wasn't going in the back of the net for Newcastle on the day. You know, Isak, Gordon just didn't really step up like they normally would, especially at St. James Park today. They were a little bit sloppy in front of goal. Jared Bowen had a really good game, had the assist to Wan-Bissaka. You know, Todibo had to fall off the pitch injured, and I thought Mavropanos, you know, could have been a worse day for him because I thought he should have conceded a penalty. But without that play, he did really well coming on for Todibo. And you know, Mikel Antonio, of course, after the fiasco of the passport, hopefully everybody got a chance to see his side of the story, or the actual story. You know, I thought Gary Lineker quite hilariously brought up his asked him where his passport was on their podcast, and yeah, hearing his entire story about it was kind of hilarious. You know, sometimes you don't realize you know, how being a professional footballer, you might not know some things that, you know, might be common knowledge to, you know, someone like you or I that just, you know, books their travel all the time, you know. yeah, anyway, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But Mikel Antonio played 75 minutes on the day. He had a 6.6 rating overall. No goals, no assists, expected assists, no expected goals. So not really a goal threat today. 0 for 1 on the dribbles attempted, 29 touches. Good passing accuracy for him, 12 of 15. He tried 4 crosses, was unsuccessful, was 1 of 2 on the long passes. 3 for 9 on ground duels, 2 of 2 in the air. Lost the ball 13 times out of the 29. Committed 4 fouls and was fouled twice and did have 1 tackle. So was definitely throwing his weight around on the pitch, committing 4 fouls. Played 75 minutes on the day. Not really giving them that goal threat, but definitely just being a nuisance up front. I thought that besides Bowen, it really wasn't much in terms of the attackers. That you could really point yourself at. I just thought it was a very disciplined, professional performance. I thought Paqueta and Souček did really well in that midfield. It was actually probably one of Paqueta's better games. I thought he's been a part of the reason why they haven't really been doing well this year. Just hasn't been consistent enough for them. That definitely in years past when they're playing well, he's somebody that's definitely chipping in with some assists, some goals, some key passes and everything. Just don't think he has been influential enough for West Ham this season. But Newcastle, again, this year they've just been like this, man. Up and down, Jekyll and Hyde. Typically at St. James Park, though, you can count on them. Today you couldn't. Just kind of a toothless performance. Just for whatever reason, just never got going in this one. But you have to give some credit to West Ham. We've been complaining about how open they've been. No midfield. He's finally found what looks to be somewhat of a semblance of something that could work. Soler a bit higher up the pitch, Souček and Paqueta a bit deeper, but Soler is quite comfortable dropping back if need be. So maybe this is the balance that they have been missing so far. When you look at the bench, Guido Rodriguez came on. There's no Edson Alvarez there. I think he's not doing well after his travels. Yeah, so I mean, maybe this is what they'll have to go with in midfield for it to make any sense. But good win for West Ham. You can't go around that. Let's take a look now before we move on to the standings and the donkey of the week, or the actual EPL standings. So Southampton still in the cellar, 4 points in 20th place. Crystal Palace getting another point, edging closer towards that safety of out of the relegation zone. Now they're on 8 points. Ipswich in 18th on 9 points. Wolves jumps out of the relegation zone, moving from 6 points to 9 points with their win. Conceded, I think, the most goals in the league, but up there with some of the highest scoring teams in the league, scoring 20 so far. So by virtue of that, -8 goal difference, they are out of the relegation zone on 9 points. Then in 16th, we have Leicester City, just fired their manager, Steve Cooper, on 10 points. Everton, 11 points after their draw with Brentford in 15th. West Ham moves up to 14th spot, getting from 12 to 15 points there. Actually, pretty much didn't move. Now that I'm thinking about it, they were at 14th, but now they're much closer to jumping up in the top 10 with another win and some favorable results from the teams above them. So they are now on the same points as Bournemouth, but -1 goal difference for Bournemouth, so that sees them in 13th. Man United, after their draw, go to 16 points in 12th. Brentford, after their draw, go to 17 points in 11th. Then 9th and 10th, both on 18 points, but Fulham has more goals scored as they both have a goal difference of 0 so far this season. So Fulham and Newcastle, 9th and 10th, 18 points, 0 goal difference. Then we have Aston Villa in 8th now after their draw, 19 points for them. They have a goal difference of 0 as well, also on 19 points, but in 7th is Nottingham Forest +2, and then Tottenham with the second highest goal difference in the league, all the way in 6th though with 19 points +14 for them. Tottenham in 6th, so they'll have the tiebreaker over a lot of these teams above them if they get some good results for them and they win next week. Brighton, 22 points +5 in 5th. Arsenal and Chelsea, identical goal difference, but Chelsea scored 2 more goals, so they are in 3rd. Arsenal 4th, both on 22 points. Man City, after 3 losses in a row in the Premier League, now on 23 points, plus 5 goal difference. And then Liverpool still setting the standard in this league so far. 12 games played, 10 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, plus 16 goal difference already, 24 goals scored and 8 against. So highest goal scorers in the league, and also the least amount of goals conceded, even though just recently, a few weeks or a few game weeks ago, I think they were down at about 3-4 goals or 2 goals. So, they have been leaking a few more goals lately. So let's see if they can continue to get those 3 points and not turn those threes into 1 point and potentially 0 points, which I'm sure the rest of the league fans would want to see. But Liverpool, good work. 12 games in, you're looking like the ones to beat. So let's see how that goes going forward. All right. So without further ado, people, the show is wrapping up. So let's go ahead and give you guys the let's give you guys the standings from this week just gone. All right, so yeah, this is what I need. Let's get this and let's get this. All right, so I'm just getting it loaded up here. All right, so this is the standings for the week, people. And if the list looks short, it's because we had so many people wanting to be donkey of the week this week that we have more than one donkey. So this is the standings for the week, people. Let me show you guys. All right, so this was the standings for the week. Duke narrowly escaped being one of the pack of donkeys this week. Getting that one correct score kept him off of that dubious list. Demo, Pristine, Biggs G, Richard Edwards, all under 500 this week at 4 and 6. But Nick was the closest to Red Skull at 5 and 5. But Red Skull, we have to give you the trophy for the week for the EPL predictions. You had a 6 and 4 record with one correct score. I have to point out that Red Skull had Tottenham, and he also had, what was the other one that I was impressed with? Tottenham. He called the Aston Villa Crystal Palace 2-2 as well, which Nick did as well. But they were the only two to really have that scoreline. And then yeah, he pretty much had most of them correct. Missed the Everton-Brentford game. He went for Everton win there. He had Fulham beating Wolves, which I think every other person did, except for one, I think, saying it would be a draw, which was me. So yeah, Red Skull, good work. You chose a good week to go 6 and 4 because no one else could do that. So Red Skull was the champ. No, the dubious ones. So you're not seeing JGTV on here. So I felt sorry for all my friends and I made sure to get into this list with everybody else. But all of us went 3 and 7 people. We did not correctly predict one scoreline, which is kind of crazy actually for 10 to not get any of the scores actually spot on. Usually I get 1 or 2 every week, no matter how bad my score is. But these were the 5 people that had the worst picks for this week, people. So Jason Gooner himself, the host, terrible. Game Birds, terrible. Hot Chili, terrible, my friend. Damian, horrible. Moss, horrible as well. So hee-haw to us. We are horrible and we should probably stop picking. No, I'm just kidding. This won't happen every week, people. It is what it is. But that is the standings for the week, people. That is the standings for the week. Now, you know what time it is, people. It's time for the FPL check-in. So the other day, I showed the listener, and some man I said, boy, me just hold the space for some man where I go start the forward to the top now and this and that. Be a big talk him have, I not see him today, I not see him today. I don't know him there. But yeah, man, Red Skull, you took it home. And we had a lot of donkeys roaming the streets this week, had Chili myself. Duke was down there with us as well. Him can't believe it. Believe it. It happened. Birds are dead. 20 plus days since I've seen my team gain a point. Hey, man, it happens, Pep said it was eventually going to happen, We can't just win every time, and that's it. So the league table them still a update, man. Channel. How long the game done? Alright, so let me share this on screen for you guys. So this is just my FPL check-in, so you guys can see. So hold on. Actually say he said Brighton 2-1 though. No, bro. You said Bournemouth 2-1. At least that's what I wrote. That's what I wrote. I mean, I could have done it wrong. It's possible. A human error is possible, but I have 2-1 to Bournemouth on the paper for you. So yeah, potentially Hot Chili is not a donkey, but you know, I will check the live chat of that show and I will put the right thing, Hot Chili, and I will let you know. You know me tell you if I'm wrong, bro. And I'll bring up back the graphic without you on it, you know, just to be fair. All right, so this is how it looked for me this week. So here someone I laugh after my side and say me need to show my side because nobody not worried about my side and this and that and blah blah blah. Well, people, I'll have you know, out of these 23 teams in the fantasy league, there was one contestant with the highest score this week, and that was me. Now, I must say, the brother that was talking smack, Demo, was close. He had 75, but 79 points was the biggest total. Now, the problem is I'm going to lose 4 points because I did make some extra transfers, which I thought were necessary. I did bring in Mateus Cunha into the team because he had to be there. And I did bring in Mo Salah into the team. So as you can see, that those were two good choices to do. They got me about 42 points between them. So yeah, I think I would say that was a good move to do that. But yeah, the only mistake I made, I started Raya, which you know he got me my clean sheet, so it wasn't really a mistake. You know, I couldn't have predicted that Flecken would win, you know, second best player in the match as well. Get a save bonus as well and keep a clean sheet. So that's okay. I'll lose those 3 points. Semenyo is suspended for next week, so we'll see what I decide to do. I have 3 very good forwards in fantasy right now. So I could just go with the 4 midfielders and 3 forwards. I'm contemplating going a different route than Smith Rowe, but I think for the money that he's worth, it's going to be tough to get back as good a value for him. So I might have to hold on to him. And so far, so good. I took the plunge. I got rid of Haaland and his big budget taking up the whole of my team. So yeah, let's see. It didn't hurt me this week. And you know, getting Salah and not having him was definitely a great trade for me. So yeah, we'll stick with that for now and see how it plays out. But yeah, man, they thought I was just here, you know, they thought I was here by accident, but hopefully this week here kind of shows them. But as you can see, the cream kind of rising to the top in this league. So most of the people up in the standings, you know, getting at least 55, 60 points, couple in the 70s. So yeah, I don't think Demo. Okay, so Demo actually will have -8. So yeah, he went crazy in the transfers as well. So he won't get all these points, people. So it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, I was worried about my negative. He'll have -8. So that's wonderful. So Demo, it's on, bro. See if you can catch up. I moved up in everything this week, you know, man. Look where I was last week. 6,000 odd. Move up to this now. 230 odd. Move up. Look, this was a big jumping week for me. Arsenal, yeah, man. By year end, man, you see me, I cut through all of them something there. All right, so that was how the fantasy game, the original fantasy game went. But now this is my draft leagues. So I got 53 points in this one. So man, I cut down the lead for me in another one, yeah. Nick did all right. So this is Nick from in the chat, people. You'll never walk alone. FC him get 63 this week. So he had a big week. So what the hell Nick team did I go on with? Oh, Pedro Porra, new doggy. Ratted. That will never happen again. 20 points from them two, brother. There. Iwobi has been good, you know. I've been thinking about picking him up for a long time, and I just keep not doing it. But yeah, he's Clearly gonna keep putting up numbers. Timber. Wow. That's a good pickup. That's a good person to have because he's gonna play. Everybody else injured. Imagine if Virgil did do anything. So yeah, 63, not bad. But I don't think that 63 is a every week thing. Rhea, Livermento, Dina never done nothing. Konate never done nothing. Salah. So in this game, there's no captain bonus. So Salah just get 13. Cunha got 16. Solanke 5. Johnson off the bench. Yeah, so the man they save me still. Tottenham people, Cunha and Salah, and Rhea as well. Somehow I get a 53 out of that week, yeah. So respect for the side for getting them points. I don't know how I get so much. And then this one was even worse, 46, but nobody never really do that good in that one either. So my lead still intact. This one, Verbruggen. Should I start Henderson instead? The man I never even play. So I started these two, them never play. And Hall and Davis sub on. Konate play 90 minutes, never get none. And Salah and Cunha again. So as you can see, I have some over, some players having everything. Which when they have a good week, and all my teams will have a good week. I'm sure there'll be some weeks where nothing will go on for me. But hopefully those weeks are not very often. But I thought, yeah, it was a good fantasy week for me, especially in this fantasy game here. Made a big leap in a lot of the leagues that I'm in, or a lot of the different groups that them put me in. And of course, the one league that I'm actually in, I moved from second to first this week. So successful week in the fantasy land and in real life as well, as Arsenal got the 3-0 win. People, it has been my pleasure to bring this review show to you, and I've enjoyed it all the way to the end. Thanks so much to all the people that checked in throughout the show. Keep in mind, people, if you missed any of the show, if you watch it back on the replay, you want to discuss anything you heard, be sure to drop that in the comment section below underneath the video. And please do drop a like on the video if you're watching this later as well. Yeah, so me check it though, Chili. Me check it. Where I say Chili brain mash up right now. Yeah, man, we'll go again next weekend, man. All the people that did participate in the picks, you don't know. As you can see, it's a nice little banter zone where we get to make fun of each other as well. Apart from the teams where you love that lose, it's just another way to make fun of some people. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about just making fun of people. Why not? Yeah. So big up to everyone in the building. Thanks so much again for tuning in. Wait, there was one thing I didn't want to show you guys. Hold on. See if I can find the picture. Yeah, see it there. It's the next 1 minute find where they make me dead with laugh. So I'll leave you with that one, your people. Alright, watch that one, your people. All who never left yet, watch this. We'll get a good laugh if you never see this yet. Watch out. Pep Guardiola since Eric Ten Hag was sacked. Yo, people can make up some foolishness, you see. Yo, up G, what think about Champions League and your predictions? Well, all right, before I'm going, me just give you that real quick. So tomorrow, we'll play Sporting away. Yo, I feel like we just gonna clock them, honestly. I feel like we're gonna clock them tomorrow. Maybe not clock them, but I think Gokere is gonna score, him have to score. But I feel like we're gonna win that game there probably 2-1. So we'll win 2-1. We need the win as well because we're upon 7 point right now. So we need to get to that 10-point mark there. Like right now. Or is 8 point we're gone. We're gone. But this Champions League thing confusing in a star. Yeah, we're going 7 point, yeah. Yeah, so if we can get them 3 points, they will equal Sporting points. That would be nice. Yeah, but I say we win 2-1 tomorrow. Sparta Prague against Atletico. I'll go with a 1-1. Slovan versus Milan. I'll go with a 2-1, 2-0 Milan. Barcelona Brest. Ooh. At home. Barca probably take that one there. 2-1. 2-0. Leverkusen Salzburg. I'll say 1-1. Bayern and PSG. Ooh. Bayern will take that one. I'll say 3-1 Bayern. Inter and Leipzig. 1-0 Inter. Man City Feyenoord. Did they get a win? They're fragile. I'm going to say Pep don't lose again, but they don't get what they want. 2-2. Sporting Arsenal, I said already 2-1 Arsenal. Young Boys and Atalanta. I'm going to say Atalanta 2-1. Cervena Zvezda and Stuttgart. That's on Wednesday. I'm going to say Stuttgart. I said that much draw. Sturm Graz and Girona. Draw as well. AS Monaco and Benfica. I'm going to go with a draw as well. Aston Villa Juve. Ooh. Juve not a striker right now. Maybe Vlahovic was hold back for this game, so I don't think. Damn. Villa at home, Champions League. Ooh. Draw. Yeah, Villa and Juve going draw. Bologna and Lille. Actually, that Villa Juve game, I might actually stream that game, 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Yeah, I might actually do that game, But Liverpool Madrid is the same time. Damn. But no, but everybody going to be looking for that. I'm going to do this other one. Maybe. So Bologna Lille. I'll say Jonathan David somehow. So yeah, I'll give them the win. Lille the win. Celtic and Club Brugge. Celtic will take that one at home. Dinamo Dortmund. Dortmund gets the win. Liverpool hosting Madrid. I think Liverpool finally get drop some points. It's probably be I'll say at 1-1 game. Liverpool Madrid. And PSV Shakhtar. I'll say PSV 3-1. Yeah, so that is my predictions for the Champions League. Just a quick run through. But anyway, people, big up on yourself. Thanks so much for the love and support. Thanks for the likes on the video. Hopefully we got to that target of about 25. We're almost there, but I'm sure we'll get there on the watch back. So really do appreciate it, people. Thanks again for tuning in. It's Jason Gooner TV. This was the EPL review show, Match Week 12. We'll be back this weekend or prior to the weekend for the EPL preview of Match Week 13. And look out for tomorrow night. I will be live streaming the Caribbean Cup Championships first leg. Cavalier hosting Cibao from the National Stadium. All right, so look out for that tomorrow, people. Big up on yourself, and thanks again for the support. What under my nose.